Hey everybody, Tony D with another hot take. Sorry for the hair. I just gave little Joan a bath, and it was quite a quite an experience. She does not like baths. She does not like to be combed, and she fights me every step of the way. But anyway, speaking of fighting, there is a lot more data about the let's say Canora virus. Wait, Canora? No, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the virus coming out of China. So, and most of this is just rumor, but it's coming through the internet via viral videos. So there's a viral video of a nurse in a hazmat outfit basically trying to tell people that the government of China is lying. Surprise, surprise. And there's actually about 90,000 cases of the virus. Canora? I forget. Anyhow, that's not surprising. It still, you can't rely on a viral video. It could be fake. But it's very likely the communist government has greatly underestimated the cases. Currently, I've heard that the cases of infected people have risen to 2,100. That's up from about 1,400. So that's not good. That's not good. And they say that one person will probably infect 14 other people before they realize they have any symptoms. So you could see the problem. You know, patient zero is out. It's all over. Everybody's going to get sick. So the question is, what can you do not to get sick? Well, number one on that list is wash your hands. Wash your hands repeatedly. Whether you're sick or not sick, washing your hands is a great idea. You wash them with soap and try not to touch your face or eyes. I mean, right after you wash them, you can. The next thing to do is to get yourself some face mask. I just got myself some face mask. And if you're going to be in a public place for a long time, wear the face mask. You might look a little silly. It's a little early to be doing that now, but by the time the virus gets around, and it's likely to get around very quickly, at least according to the data that's out there, you know, you'll be better off wearing the mask than not. I mean, it's not total protection. If you kiss someone with it, or you have sex with someone with it, or basically exchange any kind of bodily fluids, I mean, you're going to get it. Odds are. But this would keep you at least from breathing it in, especially if you're in close quarters in a public place, especially if you take the subway or the bus on a regular basis. You may want to do that. And just in general, you want to keep things clean and hygienic in your personal space and anywhere you're located. And it's a bad time to congregate in large numbers. I carry a bottle of hand sanitizer just for emergencies. It dries out your skin a little bit, but it makes you feel better having a little bit as soon as you contact somebody who's maybe coughing or whatever, or maybe you don't remember what you touched, and you squirt some out and do that, and at least you're kind of covered until you can get to a bathroom. The next thing you should do, if this is indeed a pandemic, like the kind of pandemic where everyone's going to be sick, and it's going to be, you know, like China, I think the next thing you should think about is maybe stocking up on some food, the kind of food that is going to last you a while. I mean, you basically got to do a little doomsday prepping, right? Get some canned food, get some freeze-dried stuff that you can just mix up with hot water. Get yourself some ibuprofen, because if you do get sick, you want to have that. If the hospitals are jam-packed, you're going to want to treat yourself. And basically, Your only recourse is to rest, drink lots of juice, drink lots of liquids, and take ibuprofen. Try to keep your fever down. Put like cool cloths on your head, and just get a lot of rest and hope you can ride out the sickness without getting worse. And that's only in extreme cases where you don't think you can actually get into the hospital. The problem in China, besides the fact that they have centralized free medicine and everybody just shows up to the hospital, it's being overrun. So if you have symptoms and you go to the hospital, if you weren't sick before, if you didn't have the coronavirus before, you're definitely going to have it by the time you get out of the hospital, because if you look at the videos, you'll just see wave after wave of people standing in these crowded lines with masks on their face. So you want to avoid those kind of places. You don't want to avoid the hospital, though. Do what you can to cut down on if things go south. You want to do what you can to cut down on hospital visits. You want to try to go to your general practitioner, and hopefully they can get you the prescription you need for some antibiotics or whatever they're going to end up giving out for this. Hopefully you won't have to go into the hospital at peak sickness, because that's when things get a little dicey, and that's the way it is in Wuhan now. When you got tens of thousands of people trying to get into a hospital only has 2,000 beds, you're in trouble. So right now, there are some cases in the United States that are very sporadic. And there was that case of the woman who bypassed the sensors at the airport to get on a plane and go to a Michelin restaurant in France. And she bragged on the internet how she took a bunch of drugs just to get her fever down, and then managed to pass the screeners. The screeners, keep in mind, the screeners aren't that effective. They're really only effective against people who are already sick and showing signs of the sickness, and they have a fever. That they had a thing to detect fevers, basically. This virus, you actually won't show any symptoms for 1 to 2 weeks. So you could be walking around and infecting people all day long. So that's another reason you should be washing your hands as much as you can, keeping kind of to yourself in terms of your personal space and your food and your drinks and whatever, and just avoid close interaction with people you don't know, who you don't know where they've been, essentially, until this is all died down. Now, I'm pretty optimistic. I think much like the SARS virus, this could be completely overblown. It could also burn itself out in a matter of a couple of weeks. Not even really get to the United States in any kind of significant way. Or it could mutate, the virus could mutate into something harmless and inoculate everybody, and then it's over. So, but, again, have some ibuprofen, maybe get a face mask, get yourself some food that you can just have, some doom prepper food, some mac and cheese, and, stuff that won't go bad. And that way, if things do go south and you have to hold up in your place for a couple of weeks, you're ready to go. And then, if you're not sick, stay at home, ride it out, and hopefully when it's all over, everything will be great. And hopefully not a lot of people are not any more people are going to die, or they'll come up with a cure. There's a weird rumor around saying that booze will inoculate you to some degree, which is interesting. I don't know how true that is. That doesn't sound right. It just sounds like a rumor. But I think the best course of action is to avoid contact with people, and wash your hands Wash those hands.